Ask your assistance in ensuring that the family member or friend that you are here to see gets the recognition that he or she so richly deserves. The graduate procession will begin in just a few moments and will be televised on the screens. Any guest not seated at this time will be asked to remain where they are until the procession has concluded, at which time they will be ushered to their seats. We request that guests remain in their seats during the procession. A video recording will be available for you to share on our YouTube channel, and professional photographers are also taking still shots of your loved ones as they enter the venue. During the ceremony, all of our graduates look forward to hearing their name called as they cross the stage. So we ask that you please limit your celebrations and hold your applause until the end, when our provost will invite you to join us all in offering our heartfelt congratulations. On a related note, while we believe that all of our graduates are important, honor graduates who are receiving bachelor's degrees are recognized with a Latin phrase given after the reading of their name. Those who graduate cum laude, which means with honor, earned a grade point average between 3.5 and 3.7. Those who graduate magna cum laude, which means with great honor, earned a grade point average of between 3.7 and 3.9. And those who graduate summa cum laude, or with highest honor, earned a grade point average of between 3.9 and 4.0. As a final sound-related request, we ask that you check to see that you have silenced your cell phone. And lastly, we request that when the ceremony ends, you exit the building promptly, weather permitting, and proceed outside to continue the celebration with your graduates. So, with those preliminaries out of the way, we invite you to enjoy our final fall commencement ceremony for Middle Georgia State University.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. David Jenks, Provost at Middle Georgia State University. It is an honor to welcome you to our campus. Today we join with faculty, staff, parents, relatives, friends, guests, and dignitaries alike to celebrate our fall 2021 graduating class. We extend our appreciation to all who have been involved in planning and preparing for today's commencement ceremony. Their efforts has made this day one we will all remember. This commencement ceremony is one of 3 held on campus today, with 2 taking place yesterday. With more than 500 students participating in graduation this semester, holding 5 events across several days allows graduates to participate in smaller, more intimate ceremonies. These ceremonies will allow graduates to celebrate their success alongside those graduating with similar degrees and will keep the ceremonies at a reasonable length. At this time, I would like to direct your attention to the first row. You will notice there is an empty pot of chairs draped in a black cloth. The cloth has been placed there in remembrance of all the students, staff, and faculty that we have lost this academic year. Please join me in a moment of silence to remember the hard work and dedication they put into their time here at MGA. Thank you. Today we celebrate a commencement, a new beginning. For graduates, that may mean leaving an area of comfort, leaving the classroom of learning, and possibly parting ways with close friends. This commencement marks the beginning of a new pattern of life, a new schedule, and a new set of responsibilities in work and in life. However, before the candidates for graduation move on, let's enjoy this commencement ceremony together and celebrate what has been accomplished. Candidates, you have all received a great deal of help getting here. This help has come from many people, including your family, your friends, possibly donors of a scholarship, and members of the Middle Georgia State University community. So before you embark on your new journey, let's take a few minutes and let you celebrate their contributions to your success. Immediately following this, we will start the national anthem. So what I'm going to do is ask all parents, when you rise and remain standing. So will all parents and grandparents who have a candidate here today, please stand. All spouses, children, please stand and remain standing. Cousins, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, please stand and remain standing. And any friends of the candidates, please stand and remain standing. The support group is enormous. Candidates, please rise and join your family and friends as we celebrate the singing of our national anthem with Miss Bethany Knowles.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Bethany. That was beautiful. Please be seated. There is one other very significant group that has supported you and enriched your educational experience. The Middle Georgia State University Foundation strives to improve the lives of people in Middle Georgia by enabling our students, faculty, and staff to achieve extraordinary results. Some of our graduates have benefited from Foundation scholarships. Many of you have participated in Foundation-sponsored academic programs and activities, and all of you have studied in modern classrooms, labs, and a library outfitted in part with Foundation-funded equipment and technology. Please join me in a round of applause in appreciation of our MGA Foundation and donors. Next, we have our student speaker. At fall commencement, the student speaker is not a member of the graduating class, but rather the president of the Student Government Association, bringing you greetings on behalf of the students who will follow in our graduates' footsteps. Our student speaker is a current senior who will graduate with a bachelor's degree in Health Services Administration in May 2022. She is a scholarship recipient, and her hard work and dedication to her chosen field of study results in earning a spot on the president's list each semester. She is the 21-22 president of the Middle Georgia State Student Government Association and has served as vice president of the Macon Campus Activity Board. She also is a member of the President's Torch Society and president of MGA's Association of Healthcare Executive Students. The association participates in community service projects and coordinates the American Red Cross blood drives on all our MGA campuses. After she graduates in the spring, she plans to pursue a master's degree in public health. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Ms. Tecia Baker.
Good afternoon. Today is a day that you all have been anticipating, but getting here was not an easy journey to say the least. It was March of 2020 when the life we all once knew and loved changed in the blink of an eye. As students, we went from the comfort of face-to-face classes to a learning environment that challenged us all, including our professors. Who would have known that what was first thought of as just an extra week of spring break would turn into virtual learning? And a campus life that was once vibrant changed overnight. The doors that students walk through daily wouldn't welcome students back until the following fall. Yet, these obstacles did not stop you from achieving your goal of graduating. I am here today not only as SGA president, but also as a peer who understands what we, as students, went through this past year. From the tears, to the late phone calls with peers and friends expressing frustration, to the times where you wanted to give up, and to the times where you may have questioned, would you make it through? One of the core values of MGA is adaptability. And throughout these difficult times, you did not let the changes affect you, but instead adapted to all changes and did it gracefully with peace and patience. Instead of saying, I cannot, graduates, you said, I can and I will. Class of 2021, I stand with you all today to say you made it, you did it. No can of Lysol or mask will ever overshadow the years of hard work and dedication you put in daily to get here today. For the past few years, you have been shaped, developed, and prepared in society with the readiness to pursue your goals and aspirations. So nice, I'll leave you with this. Go out and apply what you have learned and become an agent of change in communities. Advocate for what's right. And no matter what your occupation will be post-MGA, remember that your voice matters. Do not be afraid to stand for what is right. Winston S. Churchill once said, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Class of 2021, congratulations. I wish you all the best of luck in future endeavors. And remember that your MGA family will always be here for you. Like they always say, you shall overcome. And overcome you did indeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Tecia. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. My name is Christopher Blake. I have the honor of serving as the president of Middle Georgia State University. And I'd like to repeat the Provost welcome and congratulations to our graduates, and also to the rest of the people in this room sitting with our graduates and to others who are not in this room. Because this is truly a day when we come together to celebrate our graduates' achievement and to recognize they didn't get there just on their own. We did it. They did it. And they're reaching a degree moment in their lives which is like no other. And the reality is that they are here today after two of the hardest years that the human family has experienced in over 100 years. That is the last time we had a pandemic. So graduates, well done, very well done. It's not been easy, but we are proud of you. And we're grateful that you kept going. And to the families that have helped them, to the faculty and the staff that have helped them move forward and reach this point, you have my deep respect as the president of this university. Please, let us all celebrate this collective success with another round of applause. Now we're at the point in the program where I have the honor and the pleasure of introducing our distinguished commencement speaker for these fall 2021 exercises. The Honorable Dax Eric Lopez served 11 years as a judge on the State Court of DeKalb County, where he presided over criminal and civil matters. As only the second Hispanic judge on a court of record in the history of Georgia, he earned a reputation for being an efficient, fair, and just jurist. He left the bench this past September to return to private practice and is now a partner with the Del Campo Grayson Lopez law firm in Dunwoody, Georgia. A native of Puerto Rico, Lopez attended Vanderbilt University and Vanderbilt Law School, where he was an editor on the Vanderbilt Journal of Transnational Law and president of the Vanderbilt Bar Association. After law school, he served as the law clerk for federal judge Hector M. Lafitte in the Federal District Court for the District of Puerto Rico. Please welcome our distinguished commencement speaker, the Honorable Dax Lopez.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Let's try that again. Good afternoon, everyone. There we go. Dr. Blake, Provost Jenks, distinguished guests, graduates, family, and friends. I am humbled to be here with you today, and I want to thank you for allowing me to share this special day with you. I also want to thank you for the very warm reception I received today. I don't always get a warm reception, and it makes me think of a time right after I was appointed to the bench in 2010. About 3 weeks after I became a judge, I got a call from an elementary school nearby, and they said, look, we would love for you to come and talk to our 5th grade class about what it's like to be a judge. And I was like, I would love to come speak to the kids, so I'm going to come down. I've only been a judge a few weeks, but I'm going to come down and talk to y'all. And so I get there, and I'm really excited. I got my gavel, I got my robe, and I walk into this room, and there's about 150 students sitting on the ground. And the teacher gets up to introduce me, and ultimately she's like, boys and girls, here's Judge Lopez. And they started booing, moaning, groaning. I was like, I've been a judge all of 3 weeks. I haven't had time to screw up yet. What's going on here? And so I looked down at one little girl in the front row, and I said, well, tell me what's going on. Why are you so upset that I'm here? And she says, Judge Lopez, I thought we were going to see George Lopez. There is no coming back from that, ladies and gentlemen. They will not listen to you after they thought they were going to get George Lopez. So that is a true story. First, graduates, let me just say congratulations. This is a truly laudable achievement. This is a big deal. Be proud of what you have accomplished, because I know your faculty members are, your family members are, and your friends are. And they're extremely proud of you. And just for today, you're allowed to bask in the glory of this achievement. Second, I want you to turn to your pods and say thank you, because we cannot get here by ourselves. So take an opportunity to thank everyone in your pod, because we can't do it alone. Yes, thank you, Mom and Dad. Thank you, aunts and uncles and friends, because we needed your support to get to where we are, and you will continue to need support as you proceed in your lives. Now, as I am a lawyer and a former judge, this is the disclaimer portion of the speech. This speech, to some degree, will follow some of the tried and true cliches of commencement addresses, but it will not include the following cliches that are typically found in commencement addresses. So these will not be part of the speech. Your future is bright. That will not be part of the speech. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. You can accomplish anything if you put your mind to it. You've got to pay your dues. And last but not least, the one thing they can't take away from you is your education. That is the disclaimer. Those things will not be part of the speech. Other cliches will be, but not those. Graduation marks the culmination of a great deal of hard work, of late night cramming sessions, of significant sacrifice of time and treasure, and probably more than a few hundred late night pizzas. At least that was my case when I went to college. But it's also the commencement of that next chapter of your life, right? What I call the what the heck do I do now portion of your life. Or for some of you, the can I still move back in with my parents for a little while so I can save up some money part of your life. At least that's my oldest son moved back in with us after he graduated. But in seriousness, it is the beginning of one of those life transitions. Some of you already know what you're going to do next. You might be in line to get a new job. You might be going to grad school or further education. You at least have some idea of what you're going to do. That's not what this speech is about. I'm not here to tell you what to do next. That is for you to figure out. What I am here to do is to at least share some of the observations of what helped me reach a level of success, and hopefully it'll be something that will help you reach a level of success no matter what path you choose. And speaking of paths, that evokes a poem by Robert Frost that I'm particularly fond of, A Road Not Taken. And the last few lines of that poem say, "Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference." Now, I know better than to try to interpret this poem in a room full of English majors, right, and English faculty members. And my understanding of this poem is probably embarrassingly simple to what is actually a very complex poem. But since I've already graduated, and I was a political science major and not an English major, I'm hoping to be graded on a curve today, a very generous curve at that. But whether you interpret this poem to be about the road that you actually took, or whether you interpret it as a reflection back on the road you did not take and the impact that may have had on your life, I do like the imagery and the suggestion of life as a journey with different roads and different paths to choose from. So I do want to talk to you a little bit about my road that I've taken. My road was not always paved. It was not always straight and level. It had its share of hills and potholes, curves and detours. It did not represent the shortest distance to success. And being from Atlanta, there was plenty of traffic along the way. But nevertheless, I've gotten to where I wanted to go, at least at this point in my life. My road began when I was born in the deep South. And what I mean by deep South, I mean deep South Puerto Rico, right? The southern part of Puerto Rico. I moved to the United States, and particularly to Augusta, Georgia in 1982 when I was 6 years old. I did not speak English, and I definitely did not speak Southern. I did not know anything about grits or sweet tea or pecan pie, and for the life of me, I could not understand why there was a whole house dedicated to waffles. I would later go on to represent Waffle House as a lawyer. And I do remember one of the first times when I was a child, we were at Waffle House, my mom, my dad, my brother, myself. Again, my parents spoke some English. My brother and I didn't speak any. but I certainly understood my mom's facial reactions to certain things, particularly when the server kept calling my dad honey, right? Honey, can I get you some more coffee? Honey, can I get you some more tea? And my mom's like, how the hell do you know that woman? It was not an easy time to come into the United States. Unlike today, there were not that many Hispanics in the United States, particularly in Georgia. We did not really fit in very well, and we're often treated as outsiders. And that's a feeling that's never fully dissipated for me. In the next few years, I moved to 7 different states. I lived in the plains of Kansas. I lived in Amish country in Pennsylvania with the Amish. That's not a joke. I lived in inner city Chicago and went to a gang-ridden school for a year. But eventually we found our way back to Georgia. My road has been long and at times it had many detours. But I was fortunate enough along the way to find some amazing guides, people who had already traveled this road before me and knew the way to success. They were the ones that gave me the best directions. And I gotta tell you, after high school, I simply listened to them. I began to live my life really at someone else's suggestion. I attended Vanderbilt University because a friend of mine suggested it to me. It's the only school I visited. I attended Vanderbilt Law because a professor told me I should go there. It's the only school I went to, the only school I visited and went to. I accepted a clerkship in Puerto Rico with a federal judge because an attorney that I had met for 20 minutes in an on-campus interview thought it would be a good idea, and he helped me set up an interview. Really, in a 10-year span, the only 2 decisions that I made for myself were, 1, to go to law school, and 2, to move back to Atlanta. Otherwise, I followed the suggestions of several other people that I trusted. Even becoming a judge was at someone else's suggestion. I had no ambition whatsoever to become a judge. I worked for a judge. I clerked for a judge. I worked with other lawyers who became judges. And at no point did I ever consider myself to be judge material. But my current law partner, and now mentor of 20 years, was the first Hispanic judge in the history of Georgia. His name is Tony Del Campo. And Tony called me one day when I was a young lawyer, and he said, look, I'm the only Hispanic judge in Georgia, and I might be moving up to a federal position. And if I do that, there will be no Hispanic judges on the state court bench. So I really need to find somebody who might be able to take my place if I move up. And I'm like, great, who do you want me to call? And he's like, well, I'm calling you because I thought you might be a good choice. And I gotta tell you, up to that moment in my life, I'd never considered being a judge. But Tony planted that seed that day. And I said to him, I'm like, look, I'm 33 years old. No one is gonna make me a judge. And then he said to me, I was 32 when I became a judge. I was like, oh, well, this might be a real possibility then. And so he started me on that path because he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And now he's my law partner. He left the bench about 10 years ago, and I left the bench about 3 months ago to join him, again, at his suggestion, to come and practice law with him. I was lucky enough to apply to this position, to the position of judge, a few months later. And because I had a fairly good reputation for excellence as a lawyer, and because I always worked hard and treated people with respect, the governor at that time appointed me to my position, which I served for 11 years. I do not know what roads are in store for each of you, but what I can say with some level of certainty is that attending Middle Georgia University was an excellent choice that will hopefully help make all the difference in your lives, and certainly better than the road that you did not take. But I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the reality of the world that we currently live in. It's ravaged by a global pandemic. The way we work and live and interact has changed immeasurably, and there is a great deal of uncertainty. These will be the obstacles and potholes and detours that you will have to contend with as you move forward. But take solace. Hopefully your years here at Middle Georgia have prepared you to take those challenges on head first. And as you continue on your road, here are the things that I learned that helped me reach some level of success. Number one, if you take nothing else from today, take this. Be so good, you cannot be ignored. Be so good, you cannot be ignored. And what I mean by that is, you might work somewhere that your boss doesn't like you, right? He might have something against you for whatever reason. But you know what they cannot ignore? Excellence and doing your work better than anyone. That can't stop you from doing that, and they cannot ignore that. There's always going to be someone who's smarter than you or more innately talented than you, but there should never, ever be anyone who works harder than you. And you should do every task you're assigned with gusto. And that means there's always grunt work, there's always mind-numbing work. You do that work in the same way as the work that you enjoy doing. And that cannot be ignored. So be so good that you cannot be ignored. Aim for excellence, because that cannot be ignored. Number two, if you did not learn this in kindergarten, learn it today. The golden rule. Treat everyone as you would have them treat you. And that means everyone. I'm talking from the folks who clean, the custodial folks who clean the rooms, to the folks all the way at the top at the CO level, everyone in between. Treat everyone with respect. I worked at a law firm where we would hire lawyers based on how they treated the receptionist when they walked in for the interview. That was our key. How did you treat our receptionist and our help staff on the way? Not how you treated the lawyers, how you treated our staff. That's how we would determine who we would hire. And my days on the bench, the reason I was successful as a judge is because I treated every single person that walked into my courtroom with the same level of respect and dignity than I would everyone else. It didn't matter what you looked like, where you were from, how much money you had, who you were. Everyone was treated the same way, and that led to some level of success. Number three, you cannot appreciate success if you have never known failure. Do not be afraid to fail. It is what sharpens our resolve. It is what teaches us how to be better. It's what strengthens our character. I know of no successful person who has not experienced great failure in their life, so don't be afraid of it. Learn from it. And if you want to read about my failures, you can Google me. It's all online. Number four, find a good guide to help you on your road. A good guide meaning a good mentor. Mentorship is very important. Be open to it. And don't be afraid of a mentor that doesn't look like you. None of my mentors are Puerto Rican Jews. Not a one. I'm a Puerto Rican Jew. A mentor is simply someone who is willing to invest their time and energy in your success. That's what a mentor is. So find those guides, find those mentors to help you along your way. Number five, 2 words. Do good. Do good. I worked at a law firm that was founded by a very extraordinary man. There's a whole chapter written about him in Tom Brokaw's book, The Greatest Generation. His name was Chesterfield Smith. He was president of the American Bar Association in the 1970s. He's the one who said that no man is above the law during the Nixon-Watergate scandal. And he had a very simple model. His motto was, do good. That is your job. You have a debt to repay. You've been given gifts and blessings. You are here for a reason. You have that debt to repay, and the way you do it is by doing good for your community. So don't forget to do good. And last but not least, Nelson Mandela once said, there is no passion to be found in playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. Be authentically you, be bold, have vision, do not settle for a small. Do not settle for living less than what you're capable of. That goes back to that whole be so good you can't be ignored. That's the same thing. So ladies and gentlemen and graduates, I'm proud of you. We're all very proud of this achievement. I wish you the best of luck and Godspeed as you continue on this journey. And if you ever need a guide, please don't hesitate to look me up in Atlanta. Go Knights! Thank you.
some inspiring words from both of our speakers. Hopefully they gave you some messages that you can take on what is now the beginning of your new journey. On behalf of the faculty, it is my honor to congratulate the fall 2021 graduates on this special occasion. Commencement is a time of recognition of your academic accomplishments, so we join your family and friends in celebrating your success. Are you all ready to walk across the stage? In a moment, you'll see some guides off to your right who will pull you up and take you off to that side. You'll walk across the stage and stop for pictures there and here. And now, assisting with the presentation of degree candidates, our President Blake, the academic deans, our registrar, Ms. Diane Mitchell, and Associate Provost, Dr. Michael Gibbons. Dr. Gibbons.
Hello all, thank you for being here today. My name is Mike Gibbons and I'm the Associate Provost here at Middle Georgia State University, and it's my pleasure to call forth each of the graduates participating in today's ceremony. Candidates for degrees in the Master of Arts in Technical and Professional Writing, please come forward by row when directed to receive congratulations from Dean Wern, Provost Jenks, and President Blake. David Collier Brown, Master of Arts in Technical and Professional Writing, and a graduate certificate in Technical Writing and Digital Communication. Gary Lynn Lister, Master of Arts, Technical Professional Writing. Jennifer Scott, Master of Arts, Technical and Professional Writing, and a graduate certificate in Technical Writing and Digital Communications. Kyle Michael Tucker, Master of Arts in Technical and Professional Writing, graduate certificate in Technical Writing and Digital Communications. Candidates for undergraduate degrees in the School of Arts and Letters, please come forward to receive congratulations from Dean Wern, Provost Jenks, and President Blake. Caleb Austin Davis, Bachelor of Arts, English. Carmela Douglas, Bachelor of Arts, English. Raven Elizabeth Pittman, Bachelor of Arts, English. Ivy E. Sapp, Bachelor of Arts, English. Sierra Stark Stevens, President's List Scholar, Bachelor of Arts, English. Anna Marie Voracek, Bachelor of Arts, English. Anastasia M. Wimpy, Bachelor of Arts, English. Haley Kasum, magna cum laude, President's List Scholar, Bachelor of Arts, History. Macy Watson, Bachelor of Arts, History. Candidates for degrees in the Master of Arts in Teacher Education, please come forward to receive congratulations from Dean Beek, Provost Jenks, and President Blake. Jennifer will direct you on your right. Brooke N. Emerson, Master of Arts in Teaching, Teaching and Secondary Education. Michelle Barber, Master of Arts in Teaching, Teaching in Secondary Education. Sierra Grimes, Master of Arts, Secondary Education. Yes. Jennifer Ford Henman, Master of Arts in Teaching, Teaching in Secondary Education. Okay. Candidates for undergraduate degrees in the School of Education and Behavioral Sciences, please come forward to receive congratulations from Dean Beek, Provost Jenks, and President Blake. Sharika N. Cotton, BS in Interdisciplinary Studies. Melissa A. Divert, Bachelor of Science in Interdisciplinary Studies. Crystal Eloris Eccles, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Interdisciplinary Studies. Victravia Saunders, Bachelor of Science in Interdisciplinary Studies. Reginald Maurice Thorpe, Bachelor of Science in Interdisciplinary Studies. Katina Renee Billings, Bachelor of Science in Public Service. Shaquana Shantai Pierce, Bachelor of Science in Public Service. Kiara Simmons, Bachelor of Science in Public Service. Walker Robert Waldrop, Bachelor of Science in Public Service. Rajay Watson, Bachelor of Science in Public Service. Precious Chandrika Allen, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice. Esther Ashamu, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice. Janotica N. Barrett, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice, and Associate of Science in Criminal Justice. Jaden Christopher Bolton, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice. Betty Vanessa Carswell, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice. Crystal Chapman, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice. Vivian Coates, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science. Miranda Nicole Crabtree, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice. Jada M. Davis, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice. Macy Bryn Hale, magna cum laude, President's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice. Kendall Lynn Marshall, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice. Victoria L. Sissel, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice. Carla B. Valles, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice. Tressie Yolanda Walker, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice. Sharmasia Wimberly, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice. Joshua Dejan Ware, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice. Shartavia Sharnay Alford, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Jessica Elaine Belcher, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Calvin A. Bogue, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Zaria Nicole Britton, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Victoria Eugenia Byers, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Tabitha S. Clemens, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Lacaria Tiana Code, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Kawanda Latrice Davis, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Salma G. Garcia, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Beverly Ann Horn Green, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Taisha Luanga Harrison, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Jarrett T. Heath, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Emma L. Hildreth, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Kendra Nichelle Hollingsworth, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Sarah R. Istanbuli, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science. Brenda Lee, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Karen S. Lloyd, President's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Amanda Mari Lopez, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Sonia K. Martin, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Kirsten J. Meriwether, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Tivana Jamara Ray, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Bethany R. Reese, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Sarah Raymond, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Amaya Q. Robinson, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Carissa Sierra Sledge, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Cassandra Aurelia Marie Stewart, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Elizabeth Morgan Upchurch, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Ivania Y. Villarreal, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Quanisha Chantil Wilson, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Peyton John Robluski, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Elizabeth O. Asamu, Bachelor of Science in Health Service Administration. Crystal Blue Jackson, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Arts, English.
How about hello? How about one more round of applause for all of our graduates today? President Blake, on behalf of the faculty, I proudly present these candidates who have now satisfied all requirements for graduation and ask that you confer upon them their respective degrees.
Thank you, Provost Jenks. And so we come to one very small part of this ceremony that signifies a very big transition in your status. By the authority vested in me, Christopher Blake, by the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree or certificate you have so diligently pursued with all of the rights and the responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations, graduates. Congratulations. You are no longer students, you are now graduates, and that means you have earned an additional right, signifying your passing from being a candidate and a student to now that of a graduate. You should at the moment have the tassel on your hat. It should be on the right. Mine is stitched in here, so I can't really demonstrate it. But it should be on the right. If it's not, put it back on the right now, because you haven't done it officially now. But we're going to count down, and when we count down, you are to transfer it and keep it for the rest of your life, because you may occasionally wear this hat again. You're going to have it on the left. So we're going to count down, and you're going to move it from the right to the left. 3, 2, 1, let's do it. Yeah. And graduates, I'm afraid, as the president, I get the last lecture in your career at Middle Georgia, but it's a very brief one. I want to have a few final words to you. I want to tell you that our faculty and our staff and our students, many of your colleague students, have believed in you and have sought to encourage you and to get to this point today. We know that some of you we will welcome back and will continue your education at Middle Georgia, and we look forward to that. Others of you will continue your careers and your lives and go on with this degree, and some of you still will move away and build lives and careers elsewhere. But wherever you are and whatever you are doing, as of today, you are our alumni and our alumnae. This is a special and an enduring relationship, and we will always have pride in your success. I have one very important request of you, that you continue from now to share your knowledge, your formal knowledge that you have a degree bearing, that you share it with the people you love, yes, but also the communities in which you live and work. As educated individuals, it is your responsibility to help both your loved ones and our society as a whole appreciate the importance of education and the value of a degree. Your degrees are granted for you to empower not only your own life, but the common good as well. Throughout this ceremony, we have talked about this being a transition. both yours at this pivotal point in your lives and for Middle Georgia State. Graduating another class is a key moment in this university's life and experience. And so it is my pleasure to introduce to you our alma mater, which looks back on the tradition that we began as a university in 2015 and that we will continue in the years to come. So please, at this point, direct your attention to the video screens and enjoy a short performance of our alma mater by the MGA Chamber Singers under the direction of Dr. Rebecca Lanning.
Through the rolling hills of Georgia, in the heart of the great Peach State, we build our future-shaping lives. The quest is ours to take, with boundless possibilities and the lessons of the past. We sons and daughters of MGA, our friendships ever last. We knights of truth and honor, with knowledge as our sword, we raise our voices loud and clear, our hearts at MGA.
And so in concluding, as president of this university, I extend to you my best wishes as you prepare to enter the next phase of your life. We are grateful, graduates, that you chose Middle Georgia State University for your education. There are over 3,000 colleges and universities in the nation, but you chose to come here, and for that we are grateful, and we will always be your family. We hope that you have earned our respect in the way that we respect you, and I ask that you now go out into the world and become goodwill ambassadors for this institution. Thank you, and congratulations again to each and every one of you. Please, at this point, remain in your seats, and in a moment, the man with the snappiest purple suit in the entire room will come back, Dr. Michael Stewart, and he will give arrangements for how we will leave the building. But at this point, officially, as president, I announce that these fall 2021 commencement exercises are concluded. Godspeed and thank you.
Graduates and guests, before we dismiss our ceremonies, I would like to ask you to please keep social distancing in mind. We will dismiss row by row, beginning at the back of the room. Those of you who are in pods 1 through 5, when directed, if you will exit to your left. Those of you who are in pods numbered 6 through 10, when directed, if you will exit to your right. We want to invite you to continue the celebrations outside by our beautiful lake, which makes for wonderful photo backdrops. Once again, thank you for attending our ceremony today, and congratulations to all of our graduates and guests in the last row. You may exit now.